But, folks, before I get back to that, I want to indulge you for just a moment, or ask for your indulgence. 5 days from now, the fourth book in the Time Travel Adventures with Exceptional Americans series hits the shelves. Rush Revere and the Star-Spangled Banner. How best to explain this? I've been doing this program, we're now into 28th year. And it's much different now than it was the first 5 years. The first 5 years, every week we were announcing brand new stations that had just agreed to take the show, and the growth pattern was skyrocketing. And things that hadn't happened before were starting to happen. Not only within the context of the show, but for me personally and professionally. It was the second real success track that I had been on. And it was filled with newness by the week. Wrote my first 2 books and a TV show, and things, it just kept growing. And at a certain point, this happens to everybody, it's not a complaint. What this is a description of a learning experience, and why these books are so important to me. In any endeavor that anybody does, if after you've done it for a while, and if you happen to be at the top while you're doing it, the entire reason changes, the motivation changes. You've heard the old phrase, it's much more fun getting there than it is being there. You know why that is? It's harder being there. Once you're there, everybody in the world's gunning for you, and there's only one way to go. Even if nobody's gunning for you, there's only one way to go. But when you're getting there and it's all new and it's all exciting and you're doing things that you've never done before and things are happening to you that have never happened to you before, it just breeds excitement and breeds a sense of achievement and accomplishment at various levels and stages. But what is the accomplishment in staying there? I'm not minimizing it, but everybody, no matter what they do, if they reach a pinnacle, as I have been fortunate enough to do, and for a long, long time, you have to find ways to keep it interesting. Now, for me, I'm lucky as I can be that I love this as much today as I have ever loved it. Maybe even more. But there are no longer things happening like in the first 5 to 6 years. They've happened and we've maintained them. So everybody in their life, if you count for anything, you always want to achieve. You don't want to rest on laurels, and you don't want to rely on the past to sustain you for a while. You want to keep going. But I don't like doing television. I actively do not like doing television. I've done that anyway, so that's nothing to conquer there. And I wrote a couple of books. Okay, nothing to conquer there. Been there, done it. But I have not done what we've done with these children's books. And my point in telling you why I'm excited about this is because these books are providing for me, and I owe my thanks to you all for this, these books and the success that we're having with them. But more importantly, the substance and the purpose of these books are serving to create in me the same feelings of achievement and excitement that I had when this program was just starting, was brand new. Nobody had ever heard anything like it. And people were glomming up. We had Dan's Bake Sale and, all of that stuff that was just as exciting as it could be. Well, the books are that for me now. It's something I hadn't done before. And it's not something I ever thought I would do. Write books for children, 8 to 12, 8 to 10, 10, 13, the demographic. Not something I ever thought I would do. Didn't really know if I could do it. And I found out it's not something I could do alone. I've got a great team that helps me with these things, starting with my wife, Catherine, and we've just got a bunch of people that make sure everything we put in these books is as accurate and close to true as we can get for an age group that we're writing for. And they've just been phenomenally successful. And we're up to our fourth now. Rush Revere and the Star-Spangled Banner. I wish you could see all the reaction, the response that we get from young children reading these books, sending us pictures of themselves reading the books, dressing up as Rush Revere, creating their own playtime parties as characters in the books. I can't tell you how heartwarming it is. I can't tell you how meaningful it is. People ask me, well, how do you stay so optimistic? I would have to try not to be, just based on the good fortune I've had here in my career, and now with the success of the Rush Revere books. But again, we don't rest on the laurels of those either. Every book is its own challenge. Every book is its own test. Every book we try to improve, of course, like everything we do, make it better than what we did before. It sustains the challenges, the obstacles to overcome, all equal achievement. And I don't care who you are and how long you've done something, you still need that. It's no fun saying, yeah, I've done that, I've did that. I mean, it's no fun having a track record. The fun is building on it all. The fun is achieving even more. And it's also the challenge. It keeps me young at heart, and it keeps my mind engaged, which I think is key to not getting sick in many ways. And so we're excited as we can be about this next book, and it's been in pre-order since September 27th, and it actually is going to hit the streets on sale in bookstores and be delivered to pre-orders next Tuesday on October the 27th. So I just wanted to take some time to thank you all again for helping us make these books what they are, because they do work. They're so needed. The things that young people are taught about this country versus what actually happened in our history, it's just sad. It's sad how the foundation, the founding, the formation, the miracle that is the United States of America, how it's being portrayed in way too many schools and classrooms today as immoral and unjust. I have a friend. Have you seen this new Tom Hanks movie about the Cold War? Yeah, I've heard it's good, too. There's an actor in this movie named Mark Rylance, and apparently Mark Rylance is the unsung hero. I say, who is this guy? He's a great British stage actor. And if you want to see who he is, rent or watch an episode of Wolf Hall on PBS about the era of Henry VIII. He plays Henry VIII's aide-de-camp, close advisor. Anyway, a friend of mine went to see the movie with his young daughter, college-age daughter. Her reaction, wow, this was so pro-America. She thought there was something wrong with it, because it was so pro-America. It's about the Cold War. It's about spies. I haven't seen it, so I don't know the real premise, but it's other than what I've read. But see, that's the point. Here's a college-age woman who comes out of watching it, and she's bothered by the fact that it's so pro-America. What is wrong with being pro-America, particularly in a movie about the Cold War in which we defeated the communist Soviet Union? What's wrong with that? And yet, this is what so many young people have been taught, that America's guilty, that America is all of these isms, and that it's perpetrated all of these injustices. And I just can't stand by and let it happen without doing something about it. And young people who need to know it don't listen to this program. They're in school. 8 to 10-year-olds are not listening here. So the objective was how to reach them. And the idea for the books actually was born from Vince Flynn, the late and great Vince, who has his last book is out. Kyle Mills completed Vince Flynn's last book. I went up to Minneapolis a couple of weeks ago for a launch. It's on October 6th. For a launch event, roundtable discussion. 48 years old. It was just Kit Carson, 40. It has been a really sad year for great people passing away way, way, way too soon. So a lot of people have been involved in inspiring these books. But this deals with the Star-Spangled Banner, but there's also a time travel back where the students in Rush Revere talked to James Madison, the father of the Constitution. And to write that for 8, 9, 10, 12-year-olds, it's a challenge. So I just wanted to mention it again. I haven't talked about the book in 2 or 3 weeks here because it's in pre-order, and you know that. And it's phenomenal. But I just wanted to remind you again. And basically, thank you again for providing the thrills, the excitement, the achievement. After 27-plus years of doing the radio show and everything itinerant to it here on the EIB network. So, yeah, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Books A Million, and I think you can find it at iBooks if you're really, really, if you look hard, if you want to get it.